What's going on, everyone? It's your favorite host and jealous hater, Apoc, and welcome back to the channel. So today we got Culty Queen back again. We actually were just finishing up our other collab on her channel. By the way, go subscribe, go like her videos. She's great. We want to have her on here, and we're doing it again. But we were ending the collab we were doing, and then we stumbled upon this article on KK&BJ being sued by their business partner. It's pretty crazy stuff. I've already been through a little bit of this article, and I'm not shocked at all.
Yeah, KK&BJ and bad business practices and mishandling of finances is not a shock to me at all.
No, all you gotta do is go on their podcast, and they tell you how bad they are with their money. Yeah, it's a lot to cover, so we're just gonna hop right in that. The couple behind a popular family YouTube channel is being sued by a former business partner who claims he was paid only $5,000 of a $100,000 salary. That's a huge amount of money lost on that guy's pocket.
Holy contract breach, Batman.
Right? That's yeah, exactly. That's $95,000 less than what he was supposed to get. And $5,000, bro, these people will buy a car, buy a $120,000 car, $200,000 car on a bet, on a whim, just guessing where somebody parked their car. But they're not going to pay their business partner the money that's owed. But again, we're not shocked because it's KK&BJ we're talking about here. The couple behind the popular YouTube channel KK&BJ, which has 1.2 million subscribers, is being sued by a former business partner who alleges they failed to properly compensate him for his time helping them growing their channel and brand. What? I thought they didn't have people who helped them with that. I mean, that's what they said. They said they didn't hire anybody to help them grow. They said they did it all on their own. So
and
apparently
they sure act like they did it all on their own.
Right? I thought Qual did all the work, all the heavy lifting, but apparently here it says that somebody else was trying to help them grow. And, KK&BJ had a big boom for a little bit. And then we noticed within the last couple of years that their channel started tanking hardcore. So I wonder if it's within that like 2-year timeline where they really started to tank, where they hired this guy to come in and help them grow their channel.
When people start getting desperate and they start seeing that maybe they're not getting the views, which means they're not getting the revenue that they had been accustomed to, and did not wisely allocate into assets instead of liabilities to their finances.
Yep.
I'm not shocked to hear this. It sounds like they also took advantage of him, but then also didn't really take his advice, because it still seems like they're really not doing that well.
You're supposed to pay the people that work for you, especially if they help you. So if this guy helped them and they're not paying him, they did him really, really dirty, because they basically were making them work for free.
Yeah. As your resident legal eagle here, I am this is sounding alarm bells like crazy for me. This is not going to be good for them at all. I'm curious to see how this plays out.
The lawsuit filed by Richard Lloyd also detailed a litany of other accusations against the couple, including that they used him to buy a house to gain more subscribers. What? Their $2.3 million house? So wait, they used him to buy a house. So did he buy the house for them, and then they just were doing like a rent to own situation? Because that's the only thing I can think of.
Again, not shocking. Feel like I'm going to say that a lot, of how I'm not surprised. Anything that we're going to hear, I'm going to be like, yep, sounds like KK&BJ, sounds like KK&BJ. They had said that they moved into this new house for safety reasons because their address had been publicized and different types of authorities were getting called to their house, erroneously. Sounds like that's probably not the whole truth, which, again, not shocking.
Let's keep in mind here that these are the same people who have been manipulating and lying to their community for years.
Yeah, the home that they live in is definitely not just like some little rinky-dink house.
No.
It's in a very beautiful location, a very expensive location as far as being located right on the lake, which they, of course, took full advantage of. Oh, you've got the house. Well, now you've got to get the boat. Now you've got to get the sea-doos.
Yep.
Now you've got to get the this and the that for it, because you're there, so you might as well buy the toys that you want to enjoy it. It's just really sad that they were doing that off of the back of somebody else who has now apparently been screwed over in that situation. That's awful.
Imagine not getting compensated for your services. I mean, it's like going to a job and them not giving you your paycheck,
I'm glad that it's happening. I don't care if that makes me sound bad, but I'm glad that's happening because
Yeah, exactly.
if these real world consequences don't happen to these family channels, they basically get by unscathed because they will have a fundamental core audience that will be able to ignore or excuse everything they do. And I just don't think this is going to be one of those instances.
Including that they used him to buy a home, they gain more subscribers, and that he had to manage inappropriate outbursts from the matriarch of the channel, kerenswan.
Is that a
Bro,
good shock face?
what?
Am I doing a good job?
Was that Home Alone?
Oh my God, can't believe it. This is
Oh,
so
Karen?
unlike her character.
Wait a second. Kerenswan had outbursts, inappropriate outbursts. Yeah, she would never.
No.
It's not like she went online and stalked people platform to platform and called their family, friends, and work because they left a comment because she was trying to scam people on her business. Not Karen Swan, the epitome of stay in your light, the voice of the be kind community. There's no way Karen Swan would have an inappropriate outburst. Jesus, man. Yeah,
Oh
sarcasm, by the
God.
way,
A
anybody new
total
here watching this.
sarcasm.
Yeah, because she did all those things and much, much more.
You can sum up Karen in those 2 words, inappropriate outbursts. I
Yeah,
mean, uh,
that's
of
literally Karen. That's Karen.
you know, you can put on an act for as long as you, can mentally stand to do it,
Yeah.
but eventually that other foot is going to drop and
Mhm.
other people are going to see it.
Yep.
Now, it's a little bit, me, I'm a little bit of a drama queen, so I'm like, beautiful that the person that is seeing it is suing her.
Mhm.
So I'm loving that this is included in the lawsuit.
Yeah.
And also, again, totally shocked.
Lloyd claims that the couple failed to deliver on several promises. Again, go figure. Shocker, not. Some contracted and others made verbally because his long-term friendship with Swanson's husband, so Karen's husband, Kwa Nguyen. So this said that Lloyd is or was Kwa's long-term friend. So that means that he's known Kwa for a decent amount of time now. So is that like lifelong friend? Like he's known Kwa since he was little? It makes it worse because I mean it's bad just all around, but this is Kwa's personal friend. It's not just some business guy that they hired and they screwed over, which again is horrible anyways. But this is someone else that Kwa knew personally for however long, and he screwed him over.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting the sense that there is sort of like an emotional or like familial component of, this has obviously been like you, I assume 10 years plus, a friendship and relationship that he's had with Kwa. In my experience, I've seen that like a lot of lawsuits can also be very emotionally driven, which
Yeah.
doesn't invalidate the lawsuit at all. It could just be a reason why, somebody can be so hurt that they think, okay, well, I am going to levy a lawsuit against you because, you can put certain trust in people because you feel like you know them.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you're proven wrong, you will do anything you can to make it right. And sometimes going to the courts is the way to do that. And
It's
I
the
have
only way
seen
to do
that
that.
firsthand.
Yeah, it's the only way to handle those types of people.
This is another very consistent theme that we see with KK and Baby J is basically how little regard they have to anybody else around them and also to their audience, which is interesting because the audience, besides it just dwindling day by day, regardless of whatever, baby making content that they're milking at the moment, even in regards to that, they're not getting what they used to get. When they made all of these decisions, as far as mishandling their money, they were making more money than they are now.
Yeah.
And this may have been a desperate ploy, and they thought that they could just kind of weasel their way through it, which I don't even know how you would sleep at night doing this to somebody that's a family friend,
No
somebody
idea.
that you've known for so long. It's tough to see it happen because I wouldn't wish this on anybody. But at the same time, it was kind of inevitable at a certain point, I feel like, if that makes sense.
There's only so many times you can do these same like tactics or methods or screw people over. And eventually, like, there has to be a time where enough is enough. And then you finally get the consequence that you deserve, And a lot of these vloggers and YouTubers always reach that mark. It's because, when you're a person, eventually your This will catch up to you down the road. Something's going to happen that's going to ruin your life, but that's because of what you did. So this may be what ruins their life, at least in the sense of takes them down a peg and brings them back to the real world where they have to downsize, sell all their toys, and, like I said earlier, be humbled.
Yeah, and I personally would like to make it very, very clear to anybody watching. I assume most of the people watching this are, KK&BabyJ detractors, but just in case you are a fan that found your way to this video, I would like to say this lawsuit is absolutely nobody's fault but their own. This is the culmination of years of acting in bad faith, which just from my contract law knowledge is like a really big aspect of how you're acting and the procedures that you put in place and contracts and breaking those contracts. Bad faith is huge. They have been acting in bad faith for years. So don't blame anybody else. Don't blame Mr. Lloyd. Don't blame the haters online. This was a strictly business action and they mishandled it and they tried to screw this guy over and now they're getting sued. So don't try to blame anybody else but KK&BabyJ because it is solely their actions is what is happening right now.
Yeah, I don't know who this Lloyd guy is, but I like to have a beer with him,
I'll have some wine with him if he's into wine.
I probably won't drink beer. I'll just have caffeine or apple cider. I like hard cider. One central claim of the lawsuit is that the couple only paid Lloyd $5,000 total of an annual $100,000 salary. Again, that's a lot of money. Damn. And again, we don't know how long that was for. In a statement to Insider, Nguyen and Kerenswan's lawyer denied many of Lloyd's allegations and said that Lloyd was fully compensated. Well, if Lloyd has proof that they didn't fully compensate him, then what are you talking about? He wouldn't be suing you if he didn't have the proof to back it up.
Yeah, because in these certain circumstances, lawyers will absolutely get bank records from both sides.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Because
like a divorce.
You have to cross your T's and dot your I's in situations like this. And, they ask for tax returns, all that kind of stuff. So if this was an erroneous claim that couldn't be backed up, this lawsuit, like the lawyer wouldn't have taken this case. I don't personally know Mr. Lloyd, but I do feel like because KK&BabyJ have been online for so long and have displayed so much bad faith acting that I can make a somewhat informed opinion, also based on my law knowledge, that they probably most definitely, allegedly, supposedly for entertainment purposes only, did not pay him his full salary.
I mean, just basing it from the whole vlog channel, allegedly, I guess, it seems like that they would do this sort of shady practice.
$100,000 to avoid a lawsuit that could potentially bankrupt them, which, based on my bankruptcy knowledge, I think could most definitely be an end result of this. That's a small price to pay.
Mr. Lloyd's claims are without merit. The attorney J. Kemp Brunson said on behalf of KK&BJ, we look forward to proving that in court, Mr. Lloyd was engaged to assist us with a single real estate transaction and to be involved in a single side business, which he handled poorly. I'm going to assume that the claim that Lloyd handled businesses poorly was coming from Karen's side. This is the person who let her kick-ass business flop right into the ground.
These claims are levied without merit. That basically means that they're unfounded. They don't have evidence to back it up. I don't have all of the exhibits and all of the evidence just right in front of me to be able to view. But also, attorneys in this area, they typically don't take cases that they think that they can't win. I personally have been on the side of contingency lawyers, and they are very selective because you don't want to waste your time on something that you don't think you have a very, very good chance of winning. So, of course, Brinson, whatever the attorney's name was, she kind of has to make that statement just because of the PR. She's obligated to make a statement based on, the defendant, but which would be KK&BabyJ. I don't know. I find it a little ridiculous saying that all of the claims are based on merit and that it was basically Lloyd's fault because he handled business dealings poorly. Even if, those businesses didn't work out, he is still obligated to his salary, which, it's up to the courts whether they think that Lloyd did handle them poorly or not. But from what I've heard so far, it does seem like he is owed the $100,000, that
Yeah.
$95K that he has not been paid so far. And I also find it a little weird how, if he was handling things so poorly, why would they pay him $5K in the first place?
No, exactly. Like, I mean, you wouldn't just hire some random to come in and handle things for you with the real
That you've known
estate
for so
or
long,
yeah,
you
or
know?
other business ventures without him having a background. I mean, he's not even a random, he's somebody so you know that he's good at what he does. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gone into business with him or have him buy your house for you or whatever you did. You wouldn't have done that without knowing that he was good at something. And again, these are coming from people who don't know what hard work is. Kerenswan is known for taking naps and sleeping all day. She never worked at her kick-ass job. She went to one scheduled 20-minute meeting once a week and left the work to everyone else. Karen and Kwa are the ones that handle things poorly.
I'm not really buying right off the bat that this person kind of put their all into this, and it was more of a risk than a benefit for him. It was really more of a benefit for Karen and Kwa. And I do think you know if this is not settled out of court and this does go to trial, that the courts will find accordingly that the benefit was really all for KK&BJ and not
Mhm.
really much for Mr. Lloyd.
He was fully compensated as agreed upon. Both accounts consistently and expressly declined to engage in any other business activities with him. We are disgusted by his abuse of the trust we placed in him and are mounting an aggressive defense.
From the statement that I'm getting from that, this is typical like lawyer speak, as far as I wouldn't particularly consider this a high profile case, but it is definitely not a low profile case. This isn't going to make national news, but it is still going to be something that is widely discussed on the internet, since Karen and Kwa are public figures. The statement about definitely not continuing with any business ventures in them, again, go back to what I said about who stood to benefit from this. Karen and Kwa's entire income is based on their online presence and the content that they put out. I assume, just based on this lawsuit, that Lloyd is an apt businessman and this would not be his only source of income, this $100,000 that's in question.
Yeah.
So it's kind of rich to me a little bit that they're saying that they won't engage with him in further business actions based on this, because given with what we've heard already, that doesn't really track.
Like you said, it's who benefits most from Lloyd coming in. Well, it sounded like he was providing a service. He bought them their home or however they handled it. I mean, what does he get from that? What does him taking that action do for him? How does it personally benefit him? I mean, he might get some interest money or something like that, but that seems like a risk more
Yeah,
than a reward.
it definitely feels like the kind of situation that would happen when you are, making some sort of deal, as far as, if it was a leasing kind of thing, or
Mhm.
taking out some sort of loan, whatever the situation may be, that is fueled by, an emotional relationship. However long it may be, it was obviously enough that Mr. Lloyd would feel inclined to do this for them, because if we think about it, would KK and Baby J be able to afford the house that they are in now if Lloyd wasn't ever a part of the picture? I think not.
No, well, on top of that too, because they've also talked about this before, is that they said their credit was horrible. So if you have horrible credit, even though they had a lot of money, but if you have horrible credit, they're more likely not going to take you because they want people who can be trusted, right? And if you don't have good credit, I mean, sometimes you can get away with it when you have like, hey, I have all this money, but that kind of proves that if they needed him to buy the house for them, that their credit was bad and they didn't have the money to back it up. Neither Lloyd nor his attorney have responded to the request for a comment on the lawsuit from Insider, while many wholesome family YouTube channels like KK&BabyJ, yeah, I think not, have
Super
become
wholesome. What are you
yeah,
talking about, man?
right? Oh man.
Hey, faking miscarriages out there? Super wholesome.
So much more than that too. Like KK&BabyJ have become lucrative enterprises. The feel-good content fans see can be at odds with complicated and sometimes fraught business entanglements behind the scenes. Some of those channels, like the LeBrant family, the Ace family, the Bucket List family, and the Samanaya channel, have seen controversies swell over the last few years on topics that range from questionable giveaway sprees to lying to fans to filming potentially dangerous stunts. Exactly. It's like OK Baby, who, Oscar, the father, who sliced his kid's face up with a drone. Karen and Kwa are known for scamming, people within their own community. They literally had their own community crowdfund their own giveaway where Karen and Kwa just needed 14 people to sign up and they would have profited from that. But they actually didn't have to spend any money at all because it was crowdfunded. It was a giveaway that you had to buy in. It wasn't a giveaway. It was basically like gambling.
This notion of giveaways that you have to put something in order to potentially gain something, that's not a giveaway. That is gambling. You're putting in some sort of asset of your own, whether it be money, whatever it is, signing up for a certain thing, signing up to some sort of paywall, anything like that, for the potential to gain something if you're randomly selected, which who even knows how random that is. There is this common theme among family channels of these very shady business practices because they're not going to do something if it's not lucrative to them.
No,
And
exactly.
that's just the cold hard fact, because these people are on here, using their family, using their children, exploiting their children in order to gain money. That's why we see the videos, like you said, OK Baby, Oscar flew a drone into his child's face and then made a thumbnail about it, made a whole video about it, shoved the camera in his face instead of, attending to him. These channels operate completely off of what is going to get the most clicks, what is going to generate the most revenue for me. So I think it's preposterous to insinuate that that's not what's happening here, because it most definitely is.
Last year, Austin McBroom, the patriarch of the Ace family, was sued by the city of Beverly Hills for $200,000 after hosting an unsanctioned parade for fans. As the family continued to post their unusual family-friendly content, reports in late October began floating online that his family's $10 million home was being foreclosed on by December. The family had already posted videos of a new flashy home they purchased. In that timeline too, because their house was actually being foreclosed on, they denied it till the bitter end. And people were making videos and they just didn't comment on it, or just said people were lying and manipulating their fans or whatever, just gaslighting everyone. And then eventually they came out with their own video admitting that everyone was right. Swanson and Nguyen, Karen and Kwa, are now the latest YouTube parents being questioned for how they've grown their channel and being forced to pull back the curtains on their business entities. Are they talking about commentary channels?
I don't know. I mean, maybe.
Lloyd alleges there are a cascade of broken promises. In the lawsuit, which was filed early March, oh wow, so this just happened like this month. Because of his background and childhood friendship with Kwa, he was called to help the couple grow their company, KK&BabyJ, after their YouTube channel began to decline in both viewership and revenue in 2019, which, by the way, is the year that I have claimed that their channel started to tank down. I mean, all the analytics are there. You can see it. Definitely after they actually got into the lake house, which I have had a lot of people complain that's when they think that Karen and Kwa changed. To be honest, I don't think they changed. I think she just showed their true colors.
I have a feeling that Lloyd really didn't stand to benefit a lot from doing this deal with them about their home. And that is going to make all of the difference in this lawsuit.
In 2019, with Swanson, aka Karen, not pregnant at the time, interest in KK&BabyJ was waning, and the amount of revenue Karen and Kwa were realizing from their KK&BabyJ YouTube channel was declining. The lawsuit claimed throughout the lawsuit, Lloyd asserts that there was a correlation between Karen being pregnant and the success of the family channel. 100%. 100%.
Whoa, what are you talking about? Family channels
Right?
get more views when they're pregnant, they're having a baby. Totally shocked.
No, it's not a shocker though. I mean, we've been saying this for however long, that family channels are solely reliant on their children. Otherwise, they would do other content. And then when the babies are done, when there's no more clickbait, when there's no more milking them, they try to do something else and it flops. Karen was done having babies. She started Kick-Ass, flopped, so she had another baby. Kira stopped having babies, open up her business about selling baby blankets or whatever the hell she had, and then boom, that flopped. So now that's dissolved too. According to the analytics from Social Blade, KK&BabyJ saw a significant dip in their subscribers in 2019 at the start of 2019. The family was averaging gains of almost 17,000 subscribers a month, but by the end of the year, the channel was losing about 4,000 subscribers a month. Holy shit. Damn, that's a lot of subs.
That is. Yeah, I feel like they thought that that new house was going to be you
A
know,
breadwinner, but it wasn't. Lloyd says in the suit that in exchange for his help, as in his services, he asked for equity in the company, a proposal the couple turned down. Oh, equity within KK&BabyJ. So he wanted part of KK&BabyJ is what he's saying. So he wanted a
which is
percentage of their
totally fair.
revenue. That's what it sounds like. He wanted a percentage of their revenue in order for his services, which, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
And that doesn't sound like somebody that's acting in bad faith, that is trying
No.
to take advantage of somebody. That just seems like that is a equal stake in the company or in the entity that he is putting work into for him to get something back from it.
He's just making sure he's getting paid for his services. The lawsuit alleges that instead, Karen and Kwa promised to disclose, recommend, and promote Lloyd and Lloyd's services in their videos and other public posts to other celebrity internet influencers, which, by the way, I never saw that. Like, I never heard this guy. So it's like, you did not promote him at all. We didn't hear him in KK&BabyJ or Kickass or the podcast and nothing, or even on Instagram. So where was this guy that you were supposed to promote?
Yeah, this is such a big part of this lawsuit for me because there are a lot of people online that they try to get services for free. Typically, you see this through like small business owners or artists saying, "Oh, well, I want this, that, and this, and I'll promote your work. You gain revenue through me promoting you." That is such a awful thing to do to anybody. Please do not ever ask for anything for free, which is really just in return for you promoting them, which is kind of what they're trying to make it seem like a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is, I assume that Lloyd is an apt businessman and he would never just say, "I'll put in all of this work. I will put in all of my knowledge, all of my experience just for you to promote me," because promotion does not equal hard revenue. It doesn't
No, it doesn't
equal
at
that
all.
people
No.
are going to take up your services and pay you. So it only makes sense to me that he would only make this contract based on, you will be paid this much.
He could ask, okay, I want $50,000 for my services. No, instead he was like, I want this percentage of KK&BabyJ, and that could have been $10,000 for all he knew. He wasn't banking on like a $50,000, paycheck. He was banking on a paycheck that he didn't even know, but he knew that it could have been more lucrative, the way it went. But that's because if he was asking for X amount from KK&BabyJ, he knew that his services can help them grow. So he knew that was beneficial to him, but he knew that his services would be worth more than $50,000. The lawsuit also says the couple and Lloyd settled on a major partnership and a compensation model. Lloyd would be paid a salary of $100,000 a year. The lawsuit says that under these agreements, Lloyd moved with his wife from North Carolina to Florida to work for the YouTube channel and related entities full time. So hold the phone here. The dude, Lloyd, moved from a whole ass state to work on the KK&BabyJ business and channel and other entities, which are other businesses, full time because he expected the compensation. Dude moved and uprooted his life because he thought that there was going to be something here. That's what this is saying.
Yeah, moving states like this is not cheap at all.
Moving is not cheap.
Buying a house is not cheap. And then on top of that, he was also helping Karen and Kwa get their own house.
Yeah,
and he was putting all of this effort, and I assume probably some of his own revenue, into some of these business ventures as well. Like, a move from a new state is a huge thing, to move his entire family and uproot them in order to pursue this new business venture. That is no small feat at all.
No,
and
that's a big deal.
This just adds insult to injury. Absolutely. Like, I want to say that I'm shocked because part of me is like, oh my God, how could somebody do this to somebody, that they would uproot their entire life and move to where they are only to screw him over and take advantage of him and then not pay him his fair salary that they agreed to. So I'm like, I'm shocked, but I'm not shocked.
Well, again, that's because we're talking about Karen Aqua here.
Oh my God, it's so ridiculous. It almost sounds like it's like, are these even real people? Are these like cartoon villains? Are these people on a, on a drama
I'm telling you, you know
TV
what this
show?
is? You know what this is? Mr. Lloyd here this is his Joker villain arc. You know what I mean? He started his Joker villain arc. This is how it starts, man. This is how
Man,
it
he's gonna
starts.
be dancing on the steps.
The biggest claim Lloyd makes in the suit is that the couple failed to pay his salary. Lloyd says he was paid only $5,000 total of his $100,000 salary by the end of 2019, and the lawsuit alleges the YouTubers breached their contract with him. In response, Karen Aqua's attorney provided a statement to Insider on his client's behalf, saying that Lloyd pressured them to agree to pay him a salary of $100,000, but they declined to do so. Was it like half a year or a full year of him working? Because $5,000 doesn't seem like good compensation anyways. He's helping you grow your channel and he's helping you get your home and he moved states. $5,000 is not good compensation for that. That doesn't make any sense. $100,000 does seem like the upwards ballpark of something like that, but $5,000? Like, did
Yeah,
he only work for you for a month or what was that?
well, even if we divide, if you take the $100,000 salary and you do that over a year, $5,000 is about $3,300 short of what 1 month's salary would be. $100,000 salary over 12 months, each month would be,
That'd be like 8,000 some. Yeah.
$8,300 something dollars, $333. So that's not even a full month's salary
No.
based on the 100K negotiation. And I honestly don't believe that this businessman would pressure people into doing business with him and then uproot his entire life to move to where they are, put in his own funding, his own work, his own business knowledge, his own experience, just to pressure them into agreeing to this 100K salary, which he probably doesn't even really rely on and need in order to supplement income. This just doesn't make any sense. And
No.
this is the typical lawyer response is basically, this is not new, painting, opposing counsel and opposing parties as, the aggressor. But we have to look at the facts of the situation. Again, who benefited from this situation? It's not Lloyd.
No, it's Karen and Qua. And it seems like Lloyd was taking the risk. I mean, he moved,
Absolutely.
he bought them the home, he had to rely on them paying their month to month. Like, they were the ones that benefited while Lloyd took all the risk. That's just what it looks
Karen
like.
and Qua got the house because of Lloyd. They had, some sort of business success in Kick-Ass because of Lloyd. Whatever situation was going on with the channel had something to do with Lloyd. For him to be a longtime family friend as well is just insult to injury, because this isn't some money hungry business person that saw, a flailing channel and decided to jump on it and offer their services. This was somebody that Qua has known for a long, long time.
The couple also, through their attorney, didn't Lloyd that they would promote him on their social media channels. He tried to convince us to promote him, but we never promised to agree to do so, they said in a statement. In the lawsuit, Lloyd also says that he helped with the channel's image by dissuading the couple from hosting and filming parties late into the night and from lashing out aggressively at fans or commenters with criticism. Whoa, Lloyd claimed.
Oh my God, did you just get an indirect mention?
Bro, that's a shout out. That's a shout out. Right, yeah.
As far as I'm concerned.
Right. Lloyd claims he encouraged the parents to promote a more wholesome image. I'm talking about Karen Aqua here. It ain't going to happen. But so Karen Aqua live a party lifestyle. So this makes a lot of sense. And Karen lashing out, we've already seen her lash out. We've already gave examples of her lashing out. I wouldn't be shocked if somebody had to come in and go, hey, you guys are hurting your image by doing this. And we have seen Karen do it.
Yeah, optics are everything when it comes to these family vlogging channels, because the image that they put out is basically the narrative that they're putting out. And, I don't want to take out the entire personal aspect of family vlogging, because some things do really happen, but also some things are completely manufactured. When it comes to having kids, They do plan to have children. It just always so happens when these people have children that it's just when their channel is dwindling, just magically, totally not planned at all, but definitely is. These medical events, these always so conveniently happen. And sometimes we've seen that they are caused by the parents and then they capitalize off of it. I'm not completely shocked to learn that Karen and Qual live a party lifestyle. And you know what? I am not like the most party girl. I don't go out to the clubs, but if you're an adult in your own home and you want to have a drink or two, sure, go ahead. But when somebody that is your business advisor is advising you to not portray that image and you're not taking that advice and you're still kind of doing whatever you want to do, if you're going to sell the lifestyle, you have to own it.
They even admit that they have that lifestyle. I mean, they have the party home. They don't have a home for a family. They have a party
Don't they have
home.
a bar outside? They have like an outdoor bar.
They got a pool. They got an outdoor bar. They have the party home, the party boat, the lake, the beach. That's all in their home. They got the fast cars. They have the typical Florida lifestyle. Party lifestyle. The new lake house is at the core of the dispute. In 2019, Karen and Qual and their 3 children at the time, they now have 4, moved into the new house in Orlando that they eventually vlogged about and that they had somehow pulled it off in the last second. The video has gained almost 1 million views. According to the lawsuit, the house was actually purchased by Lloyd at the time for $2.3 million. The suit says the 2 parties drafted a lease agreement wherein Karen and Qual agreed to pay Lloyd the down payment and rent of about $15,000 a month to live there. The suit also says they agreed to allow the couple to pay roughly $20,000 towards a mortgage in the first year to purchase the lake house. Because the couple did not exercise that option in the first year, Lloyd claims that he lost sufficient profit opportunities by not immediately selling the house. Holy shit. So they had their agreement for like a year's time to pay $20,000 on the mortgage to purchase the house in full and have it in their name, but they didn't do that. He lost out on money. So basically, they broke their agreement with that, contractual, by the way, and he could have kicked their asses out and made money.
It only gets worse as we go on.
The couple's attorney provided confirmation that the couple did eventually purchase the home at a fixed option price in July 2021. Lloyd claims that while the family's popularity posed a security threat to them in their old home, moving into a new home would also help increase their subscribership. The lawsuit claims that the couple had poor credit, so Lloyd agreed to use his credit to finance a home. And there it is. So there it is right there. They had poor credit, so they used his credit in order to get the home. So the only reason they had the home in the first place isn't because of them, isn't because of their hard work, is because of Lloyd.
They have all of the money in the world and have for years in order to build good credit. Why have they not done that? Why did they have to rely on somebody else, a third party, in order to get this home that they wanted? My personal opinion is that they probably should have moved laterally. The house that they were in was, it's a nice house. They could have moved to something equally as nice. They could have done that, but they didn't want to do that. They wanted more. They wanted to be greedy, just like how they are fundamentally. They wanted to be greedy and they wanted more. So they used somebody, which is what it sounds like this lawsuit is alleging. They used somebody like Lloyd who had good credit. He had the things that they needed to get more that they did not themselves personally have due to their own faults. They benefited from it, and Lloyd didn't, despite all of the things that they're claiming. Like you said, they haven't promoted him at all. They haven't taken, they haven't encouraged any of their YouTube friends to use his services. They haven't paid him his salary, which they agreed to.
Yeah, what did he get? Like, out of all this,
he got nothing.
Yeah, he got the $5,000 for spending X amount of time with him, trying to grow the channel and moving and this and that, just everything. He got $5K.
$5,000 is nothing. I bet Karen, in at least one sponsorship that she's done over the past 2 to 3 years, has paid her at least $5K just for one Instagram sponsorship.
Karen's wearing $5,000 on her shoes.
God, I'm sorry. I'm so angry, but this just like it's so ridiculous that this like lawyer and their legal team is even trying to put up any sort of defense to this, which I know that they have to, because that's just how law works in a high profile, or at least not a
People who've
lot.
been murderers, so, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it is so ridiculous to me. It's so clear cut, and I hope that this does not get drawn out. I hope that they don't file in bankruptcy court and delay this proceeding even more than it's probably already going to have to be, because people come up with all kinds of excuses to delay hearings and put things out. I hope that this is going to be a clear cut case, and if anybody is listening to this and you are not a full anti KK&BBJ, person, like you still kind of like them, this should tell you exactly what you need to know. These are not good people. These are people that take advantage of other people for their own personal gain, and those other people get screwed out of what they're deserved, what they were promised.
Absolutely.
It's awful. It's awful. I'm so angry right now. This is so sucky of them to do. It's shady. I don't like it. It's scummy.
Lloyd claims that after the Lake House deal was finalized and he was no longer being compensated financially or throughout public promotions, the friendship and partnership entirely dissolved by 2021. Karen and Kwa were further emboldened and even more motivated to break their promises to Lloyd, as they intended from the outset. When Karen became pregnant with her fourth child in 2021, which immediately resulted in increased interest, viewership, and subscribers, increased opportunity for Karen and Kwa to more easily monetize their, again, increasing influence on their own, the lawsuit alleges. In statements to Insider through their attorney, the couple said they repeatedly turned down Lloyd's help because it wasn't up to their standard. We were very dissatisfied with him, and eventually we decided we could not continue that business, they said. It's really messed up to turn down somebody's services when they move. Why didn't you do a test run before? I mean, you guys got into business together and you bought your home, this and that. From what it seems like, you used and abused him. That's just kind of like what it comes down to, because he wouldn't move from another state to come over there unless he knew it was concrete or that like he trusted you guys.
With a financial deal this big, where KK&BBJ had everything to gain and essentially nothing to lose if they acted in good faith, why did they not procure a lawyer in order to secure this deal? Now, I can understand why Mr. Lloyd didn't secure a lawyer, because he trusted them and he thought that he was doing something kind. He had an emotional connection to them, and he thought he was doing something good for them. He was taking on all of the risk, which, may not have been the smartest decision, but that doesn't exclude him from the money that he is owed based on the contractual agreement that they made. I feel like if KK&BBJ were serious about this deal, then at some point they would have brought in a business lawyer and they would have gone over all of these documents, all of these provisions, and what people were owed, what the contracts were, all of those kinds of things. And the fact that they didn't do that is very telling to me, because again, they had everything to gain and really nothing to lose. Why did they not bring in a lawyer? Why did they not hire somebody? Is it because they couldn't afford it, perhaps? Is it because they knew that they were doing shady, perhaps?
I'm on board for the shady, because we already know they're into that sort of thing and they've done it before and they like to screw over people and even their own community. So that's a great point. And even if he didn't meet your standards, you still owe him that money because you signed on the dotted line and you can't get away from that.
Absolutely. I think this entire thing is a disaster. Again, I am so totally, oh my God, shocked that Karen and Kwa have found themselves in this situation. We're voguing right now. I'm totally shocked, sarcasm, that they have found themselves in this situation. Totally did not expect this. Oh my God, shocked again, sarcasm. But yeah, this is, my little legal brain in here is so excited to see what happens in this lawsuit. Any part of this video that I've spoken about legal matters, I am not a lawyer. I am not Karen and Kwa's lawyer. I am not Richard Lloyd's lawyer. Nobody should assume that I'm their lawyer and should not take my words as legal advice. I have to say that because I have to. So I'm not a lawyer, any of that stuff. Nobody should assume I am their lawyer. But I am going to be following this closely because this is kind of my forte. It's lovely that we're getting a lawsuit in this season of the KK&BBJ series.
Yeah, season 20. I will also say that, I'm not a lawyer and all of this is alleged and it's all what we read. you know, and we're basing, you know, a lot of our opinions based off of what we have seen from their vlog channel and the things that they have done towards other people that have been proven. But anything that we have read in this article is all alleged, and it's coming from business partners that they knew. And this is what we see, and this is what we are reporting on. And we are going to update you guys. Maybe Colty will join me for the update. I don't know. We'll see if the timing's good. But anyways, that's all. Colty, I appreciate you back on for sticking through this video. And we're glad to have you. And
No
by the way,
problem,
guys,
dude. Always happy to talk shit.
right? Exactly. But hey, everyone, go put a link down below in the description for her channel. Go watch it. She'll probably have a video on this herself soon, or sound someone, you know what I mean? I mean, she's definitely good at it. So yeah, go subscribe. Thanks again, and we'll catch you guys later.
Thank you, Apoc. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I appreciate it.